There is a truth about life that most people discover too late. Nobody is coming to save you. Not because the world is cruel, not because you are worthless, but because eventually, every human being has to face the same terrifying reality: you are responsible for the life you create. And perhaps that is the darkest secret of all. We spend years waiting for the right person, the right opportunity, more money, more confidence, a better version of ourselves. We tell ourselves, someday everything will change. But the philosophers understood something most people desperately try to avoid. Someday is not a day on the calendar. And while you're waiting for life to begin, life is quietly disappearing. Marcus Aurelius was surrounded by power, wealth, war, and responsibility. Yet he repeatedly reminded himself of something uncomfortable. Everything you love is temporary. Your possessions, your reputation, your youth, your relationships, even your own body. At first this sounds depressing, but there is another side to it. If everything is temporary, then every moment becomes more valuable. The sunset you ignored yesterday will never happen in exactly the same way again. The conversation you postponed may never happen. The person sitting beside you today may someday become a memory. And one day, you will become someone else's memory too. That's not meant to frighten you. It's meant to wake you up. Because the greatest tragedy isn't death. The greatest tragedy is spending your entire life half awake. Seneca understood another uncomfortable truth. Human beings don't necessarily have short lives. We waste enormous portions of them. We give our attention to people we don't respect. We spend hours scrolling through the lives of strangers. We worry about opinions that won't matter in 5 years. We chase money just to buy things we don't need. We sacrifice our present for a future that isn't guaranteed. And then one day we look back and ask, where did all the time go? But time didn't disappear. We traded it, a little bit at a time, for distractions, for approval, for fear, for things we thought would make us happy. And that's why one of the most dangerous addictions isn't drugs. It is distraction. Because distraction allows you to escape the one person you cannot escape forever, yourself. Epictetus went even deeper. He understood that there are things within your control, and things completely outside of it. You cannot control what people think about you. You cannot control whether someone stays. You cannot control the past. You cannot control every failure. You cannot control whether the world is fair. But you can control your response. And this distinction can completely change your life. Imagine spending your entire life trying to control the uncontrollable. You will become angry, anxious, exhausted, bitter. But the moment you stop fighting reality and begin controlling what actually belongs to you, something changes. You become difficult to destroy. Someone insults you, you decide what it means. Someone rejects you, you decide what happens next. You fail, you decide whether failure becomes your identity or your teacher. The world can take many things from you, but it becomes much harder for the world to take your mind from you. And then comes Nietzsche. And Nietzsche understood something terrifying about human beings. Sometimes we don't actually want freedom. We want someone else to tell us what to do. Because freedom comes with responsibility. If society tells you who to become, you don't have to question yourself. You can simply obey, go to school, get a job, buy things, seek approval, follow the crowd, repeat. And eventually, perhaps you wake up one morning and realize you built a life that everybody else wanted, except you. That's why becoming yourself is so difficult. You have to disappoint people. You have to question beliefs you inherited. You have to walk away from environments that make you smaller. You have to tolerate being misunderstood. And sometimes, you have to walk alone. But loneliness is not always a punishment. Sometimes loneliness is the room where you finally hear your own thoughts. Schopenhauer had an even darker view of human desire. He believed that human beings are constantly chasing something. When we don't have it, we suffer because we want it. When we finally get it, the excitement fades. Then we want something else, and the cycle begins again. Think about it. You wanted the phone. Then you wanted the better phone. You wanted the relationship. Then you wanted attention inside the relationship. You wanted money. Then you wanted more money. You wanted success. Then you became afraid of losing it. The finish line keeps moving. And if you don't understand this, you can spend your entire life running toward a finish line that doesn't exist. Maybe happiness isn't getting everything you want. Maybe happiness is learning how to want less. But here's the darkest lesson. One day you will lose everything. Not necessarily today, not necessarily tomorrow, but eventually. And knowing this doesn't make life meaningless. It makes life precious. Your life is valuable precisely because it is limited. A song is beautiful because it ends. A sunset is beautiful because it disappears. A childhood is precious because it cannot be repeated. And your life is precious because you don't get another one. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting until you're confident. Stop waiting until everyone understands you. Stop waiting until you feel ready. You may never feel ready. Do the thing anyway. Speak, create, learn, build, love, fail, start again. Because one of the cruelest illusions of life is believing you have unlimited time. You don't. None of us do. And perhaps that's what the philosophers were trying to tell us all along. Don't waste your life trying to become someone the world will applaud. Become someone you can respect when nobody is watching. Control what you can. Accept what you cannot. Question what everyone else blindly believes. Protect your attention. Choose your desires carefully. And remember that death isn't waiting at the end of life. It is quietly present in every moment, reminding you that the moment you're living right now will never come back. So look around. This is your life. Not someday. Not when you're rich. Not when you're famous. Not when everyone finally respects you. Now. And if you have been waiting for a sign, perhaps this is it. Get up. Your time is already passing.